Reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days.
Do you feel confident that he hasn't made that decision already?
As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision. We have reason to believe that.
Well, that was President Biden just yesterday warning about Putin's imminent invasion. And here is Biden today, out to lunch with his granddaughters just blocks from the White House. He greeted reporters but refused to answer any questions about the rising tensions in eastern Ukraine. Joining me now to discuss this is the host of the Michael Savage Show podcast, Dr. Michael Savage. Great to have you with us on this story. I want to talk about the fact that we've been hearing administration officials sounding the alarm for some time now that an invasion is imminent. But when it comes to Putin's unpredictability, where is this timeline coming from?
Well, first of all, Kilmaney, thanks for having me on the show today. I love Newsmax TV, as everyone knows by now. I'm an anti-war conservative, not a pacifist, not an apologist for Putin. We have zero national security interests in Ukraine. To me, this is a clear wag-the-dog scenario from the failed Biden administration to get everyone's mind off the disaster of his presidency. Fact of the matter is, we don't want the people of Ukraine to be conquered by Putin, but it's not in our national strategic interest. Using military force is the last resort. It's when diplomacy fails. This president of ours has failed not only at diplomacy, but at everything else. Do we want the man who left $70 billion worth of equipment on the ground in Afghanistan to now be in charge of the military in its war against who? We're going to fight the Russians? Where is this going to lead? This looks to me like a repeat, Kilmaney, of what happened at the outset of World War I, where one major power did one thing, then the next major power reacted to that, and so forth and so on. The next thing you knew, we had World War I. The only people screaming for war right now are the war profiteers like Mitch McConnell and the rhinos, the leftists, of course, who were never peaceful or pacifist. And then there's a whole group of rhinos on Fox News who suddenly are warmongers who never served in the military themselves. Now, having said that, Kilmaney, you ask anyone who has fought on the ground, they don't like war. I'm a friend of special forces. I'm not a military guy. They know I love them. They love me because of my work on television and radio. They don't want war, but they'll do what the president tells them to do. If the president says go fight Russians, they'll fight Russians. But there's no reason for this.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Congressional Republicans had wanted to launch preemptive sanctions as a deterrent for Putin. You know, I've spoken to Republicans, particularly in the Senate, that did not want this war. So I don't want to necessarily put a label on the entire GOP saying that they want to get involved in Ukraine here. But you know, in terms of the Biden administration's handling of this, I mean, you say that it doesn't have national security implications, but hasn't the projected weakness on foreign policy that Biden has sent, does that not send a message to China with regard to Taiwan, with North Korea when it comes? I mean, aren't there further repercussions to the message that America is sending here?
I hear you. So in other words, because of his failure in Afghanistan, he's now going to overreact in Ukraine and go to war with Russia. So it's two mistakes. Two mistakes don't make it right. This guy he's absolutely incompetent on every level. He's surrounded by sorority girls and sorority boys, or frat boys, who are third, fourth, fifth tier down the line. They're nothing but congressional aides. Take a look at our national security advisor. This guy is way out of his league. All of the people involved in this are out of their league. They're college people who have gotten where they are through bullying. You cannot bully Putin. It's the worst mistake we could make. It's a thermonuclear power. You're playing with the lives of hundreds of millions of people if this goes wrong, and it could easily go wrong. We don't have tactical nuclear weapons anymore. Guess who does? Russia has tactical nuclear weapons. You probably know that. Does the average Joe out there know what a tactical nuclear weapon can do to a troop formation? Our troops could be annihilated by tactical nuclear weapons. We have to pull back. Clausewitz was the great diplomat who said that war basically is the last resort of failed diplomacy. We've got to use diplomacy here. We cannot let a vulgar comedian in Ukraine drag the entire world into war. The Ukrainian people have suffered under the hands of the Russians. We all know that. They were starved to death under Stalin. It's a terrible tragedy. But it doesn't mean now we have to sacrifice American blood in that region. That's my position. You can be a conservative and be anti-war. At least I can be. I don't know about anyone else.
No, I've spoken to a few senators. By week, I am the congressional correspondent for Newsmax. So, you know, I get sort of the dissenting opinion of all lawmakers at all times. So, Dr. Michael Savage, I do appreciate your perspective. It's an important one, and we appreciate you being here.
I appreciate being with you. Have a great Saturday.